something with the iPad. I was like, oh, let me do this, and like all three of them like rushed to like, let me do this weird.
They're like that, and they call it.
They call it. They do. I have a couple, and I sometimes I joke around with that. What I call it more the bladesman profession. Anyone can be that one. Well, I mean, if you have good sense of rhythm.
Oh, okay. Can I be straight with this? There is a way to straighten
There is
this.
a straight.
Oh, it's like that. And we brought the
Or actually, the easiest way to do is just that's done. And then
so
two.
nice.
And then you can put that in your fourth score.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay, and you can just
Although, you know what? I might as well switch apps because the Foursquare is all one long PDF. So I have to, yeah. Well, the service is.
yeah. Okay.
So even if I'm in the service, I'd have to go out of the service to look at the one that's
The
on.
one on there and then go back.
So it's easier to just switch to your photos.
Yeah. Whatever makes it easier.
Shalom bimroma, huyat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Aseh shalom bimroma. Now we need the choir. Oh, Yisrael, V'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom.
Oh yeah, right before Elaine. Right. Okay. Just so you know.
Don't sit in front of you. Sit where, did she tell you to sit wherever you want? Then sit wherever you want.
I'm gonna ask you.
Then sit wherever you want. Sorry, I was playing.
You guys have a seat towards the front. We're gonna get you up in just a second.
Yeah, because anyways you'll have to come up, so at some point.
IPRS, come sit up in the front, please. We're gonna get you up in just 1 minute. Okay, Joshua, sit down nicely, please.
Come on out.
Come on in.
down.
Come sit in the front because we're going to need you up here in just 1 second. We're going to get everybody settled and start our service. And you're going to need a siddur, so take a siddur.
Find a siddur under your
below
seat
you,
or in
underneath
front of
you,
you.
or in front of you, either way.
Or under your seat if you're sitting in the first row. Gather kippot if they fell on the floor.
Yep, take the kippot. We need you for that too. Oh, you lit the candles. All right. Or did Maite did it? She did it? You did it? They don't get it. It's okay.
Maybe you confused
Come-
it from last week.
Huh?
Last week they weren't whenever we needed to rent. I mean, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Face off. You want to I didn't notice that because I was rehearsing.
All right. So it's a minute after. Let's just get going.
All right, yes.
So Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shh, Joshua, sit.
sit.
Yes, move
you
over. She
so
won't be
much.
squished. Perfect.
Leave it to my kid. All right. So Shabbat Shalom, we are here on a very hot weekend, but we are going to keep it warm and engaging here in the sanctuary. So maybe a little cool, but it's also going to be warm. And we have our regular Shabbat service, but a little tweak today because our IPRS students are here. This is our world-famous Shabbaton that usually happens in February at Camp Young Judea at CYJ, but because of COVID, hasn't happened in the last year, at least a year ago. And this year we said we're going to make it happen, even if we have to do it here, because it wasn't safe to do it back in February, and CYJ didn't have any location open for us any week that we could. So we said, you know what? Melanie and I said we are going to have this wherever we're going to do it, and we're going to do it special here. So the kids are going to be here throughout the evening, and then on through tomorrow, they'll be participating as well through the service. And through the whole afternoon, they'll be having fun, be here until tomorrow night. So we are going to begin. They also have been working on some of the tefillot with Orit on Sunday mornings. So they're going to come up and help with a good chunk of our service tonight. And we will turn to no page, but you still need your Siddur. I'm going to ask you guys to come on up.
Yeah, come on up.
Come on up,
help me sing.
because you're going to be helping. So
Even
come
if you
on
don't
up,
know the
all of
melody,
you.
you'll
Take a
learn it
Siddur with
quickly.
you.
It's not hard. You probably know.
Stretch out around.
Come on up. Come around. Come hither.
Okay, don't steal. That's a good
You
one
have to
for
come
the
up.
Shabbat.
Yep.
And we will begin with what we do all the time, a nigun. What is a nigun? Anybody know?
Song with no lyrics.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Shane.
Yay.
Awesome.
Song with no
A
words.
song with no lyrics. It's a song that doesn't have any words to it, but has at least some element of joy to it, and it's using just our voices. So we have a song with no lyrics, a nigun, as we always do to get us started, gets us into the Shabbat mood. So take it away, Miss Orit.
Lai 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 ya lai 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 ya lai 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 ya lai ya lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai ya lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai ya lai ya lai la lai lai ya la la lai. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Lai lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya lai la lai lai ya la lai ya la lai.
Very nice. So we turn to page 5. The bottom of page 5, you'll find Shalom Aleichem, our hymn that welcomes in Shabbat, or the Shabbat angels who, according to the story, would look inside the houses of the town and check to see if it's ready for Shabbat. And if it was, the angel who thought and hoped it wasn't ready, he had to say, Amen. And the angel, if you go and see that the house is not ready and doesn't look like anyone cares anything about getting ready for Shabbat, then the other angel who was hoping it would be ready has to say, Amen. Well, let it be what it is. Right. So our hope is that our houses and our hearts are all ready for Shabbat. Bottom of 5. Ready?
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Li Melech Malachei Hamlachim
If you'll turn back to page 4, as we
You want them to come over here? Come over here towards the candles. Migrate over here. We're gonna light candles. Well, they're already lit. Yeah, get closer to the candles. Perfect. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu להדליק נר, וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. Good job. Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, I tried Lechun Narana now. Let's try the melody we learned last week. Y'all look excited. So,
keep your Siddurim open. We turn over to page 11. There you'll find the beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat, our service that welcomes in Shabbat to our midst. And it's extra special with our kids participating this evening and leading us. Page 11.
לכו נרננה אדוני, לכו נרננה לאדוני, נביאה לצור אישנו, נקדמה פניו בתודה.
Very nice. If you will turn forward in your Siddur to page 21, there you will find Mizmor LeDavid, We Rise as We Join Together.
Go ahead, sit down. Go ahead, sit down. 21. Mizmor LeDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Eli, Havu l'Adonai, Kavod va'oz, ay, 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 Havu l'Adonai, Kvod shmo ishtachavu l'Adonai, v'hadrat kodesh, kol Adonai, al ha'amayim, וישבר אדוני את ארצי הלבנון, וירא קידים כמו עגל לבנון, וסליון כמו רעינים. איי איי איי, קול אדוני חוצב להבות אש, קול אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, קול אדוני חולל איילון, ויחשוף יערות ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד. איי איי איי, אדוני למה בן ישב, ישב אדוני דרך לעולם, אדוני עוז ליבו ייתן, אדוני יברך דמו בשלום. די 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 די
You may be seated. Tell you what, all of you all in here, sit right here on the front. Sit on the bima, but in the front.
In the front.
On the bima, on the step, right here. Don't go on to the. There you go. I know it's hard to stand a long time. Believe me, I get that. I do it all the time.
Us old people do
That's
it all
old
the
people
time.
do it all the whole time. We know. Page 23, you'll find Lecha Dodi. That's our hymn that welcomes in Shabbat, the bride or queen, into our midst. And we will do the first two verses
And the last.
on page 23, and then we'll turn over for the last two verses on page 25. And for that last verse you see in the red, we will stand, and we will turn towards the entrance to welcome in the bride or queen of Shabbat into our midst. So we join together. Our kids, again, have been learning this melody with Orit on Sunday morning. So page 23.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Page 5.
ימין שמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונהגילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני אוהב סגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה.
Very beautiful. You are welcome to be seated. If you'll turn over to 27, there you will find Mizmor Shir, the psalm for Shabbat, the 92nd psalm. We join together. You all know this.
Right. מזמור שיר ליום השבת
Page 27.
טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עלי עזוב ועלינה ועלי היגיון בחינו מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך במעשה ידיך רני מה גולו מעשיך אדוני מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Very nice. If you will turn over to page 30, there you will find Mourner's Kaddish. All of our students, if you don't mind, you can go and sit in the front row. So I would say sit on this side, perhaps. or in the front over there, that's fine. As we turn to page 30, there you'll find our first mourner's Kaddish. As those reciting mourner's Kaddish, we will recite our names at the end of the service, but those reciting, you're welcome to rise and join with me on page 30. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olomei olmaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha, b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'yalma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Just a little story before we go forward. I'll use this. Get the lavalier working. Moment. So our students are here. Of course, every Shabbaton has to have a theme or something that we're learning, right? And what are we focusing on this weekend? Anna, go ahead, tell me. Repairing the world. Good. That's a perfect 2 words. Or 3 words. Repairing the world. Okay, creating a better world. Good. Fun. You are absolutely right. That's what makes the world good too, is a little bit of fun every once in a while. Caleb. Building a better world. Wonderful. So now we've told the congregation what you all are going to be learning. This is a wonderful story that many of you might have heard before. But I'm going to need your help for when we get there. So here it is. So there once was a young courtier in King Herod's palace who made a wager with his friends that he could make Rabbi Hillel angry. He had heard of Hillel and decided that he wanted to see if he was really as wise and patient as everyone said this Hillel was. And on the following day, he went to the study house where Hillel was teaching a portion of the Torah. True story, by the way. Rabbi, he cried, interrupting the lesson. Why do the Babylonians have round heads? Yeah, it's a silly question. That's why. It's something to laugh at. Hillel turned to him and said, that is because their midwives are not properly trained. And the young man left. The adults will get that one. Yeah, that's an adult question. That's an adult joke. Okay, but the next day he came back again and cried out in the middle of the discussion of law, Rabbi, why do the Egyptians have flat feet? And Hillel responded very calmly, that is because they walk for miles along the marshlands of the Nile. Then quietly he returned to his students. Wait, Rabbi, I have another question for you, the young man called out. Anybody who's a teacher, you've had this before, right? Ooh, right? Hillel spoke very softly and he said, ask it, my friend, and I shall try to answer it. Why do the Numidians have such weak eyes? And Hillel said, I'm sure that it is because of the harsh wind that blows throughout their land and the sand that is always blowing in their eyes. It affects their vision. And with that, he returned peacefully to the discussion at hand. But Herod's courtier hadn't given up yet, and he had wagered 400 zuzim with his friends that he could make Hillel angry. You think 400 zuzim is a lot of money? It was a lot of money. It's a good bet, right? So he made a wager, he made a bet for 400 zuzim with his friends that he could make this great Hillel, this great sage, angry. And he didn't want to lose his bet, so he stayed up all night until he hit upon a plan. The next day, he burst through the door of the study house, stood in front of Hillel, and started hopping up and down and said, Rabbi, can you teach me the whole of Torah while I stand on one foot? All the Hillel students looked up from the text they were reading this time, and they stared at the young man. Hopping up and down and repeating the question over and over, he looked like a stork flapping his wings and squawking. They whispered to one another, we study the teachings of the Torah day in and day out. How can Hillel give him an answer in just a few words? Now, if you were Rabbi Hillel, what would you have said? What would you say if someone was asked, can you teach me the whole Torah while I stand on one foot? Which means not for very long, right? Can you give me a short but sweet answer? Because I can't stand on one foot for that much longer. Not bad, actually. What would you say? What would you say, adults? What would you say? Be quiet? Okay. What's the whole of Torah on one foot? Hillel remained unperturbed, which means not angry, which is pretty surprising. And he looked straight into the young man's eyes. And he said, that which is hateful unto yourself, do not do it unto your neighbor. That's the whole of the Torah. The rest is commentary. Go and learn. Famous part of the Talmud, by the way. The young courtier stood perfectly still. Then he said to Hillel, I hope there are no more in the land of Israel like you. Hillel asked him, why is that? Well, said the courtier, replying in a huff, because of you, I've lost a wager of 400 zuzim. Hillel smiled and said, my friend, it is better that you should lose a wager than I should lose my temper. The young man returned to Herod's court, and what happened to him after that is very hard to say. But we know that the words of Hillel, the wise and patient teacher, are remembered to this very day. Many traditions have the golden rule. What did Hillel do? What is the golden rule? Okay. What's the golden rule that we know? And this is what we're studying for this weekend. His response to his questioning, do not do to your neighbor what is hateful to you, is his variation of the verse that we will hear in the first Aliyah tomorrow morning. It's the theme of our Shabbaton. V'ahavta loreacha kamocha. Love your neighbor, love your fellow person as you love yourself. That's what we're studying in Parashat Kodashim, and that's what we're going to look at this whole entire weekend. We're going to look at this verse. It's often considered the heart of the holiness code, the way that we find holiness in life. And to be holy, we'll talk about tomorrow more, means to reach for the extraordinary, to seek the highest level of human behavior we can. And in everything that we do and in all that we are. And that means looking at ourselves and looking the best at ourselves, looking inward and saying, you know what? I can be a good person. And here's what's good about me. And here's how I can even be better. And then considering others with the same sense of love and respect. Holiness, as Hillel points out, means refraining from the behaviors that seek to hurt or destroy, and to seek the holy, to seek the best in the world, and to make the world the best it can be by making ourselves the best, by making the world around us the best. And that's how we find God in the world. So it's a wonderful story, very famous. You may have known it. Some of you even said the answer, right? V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Love your neighbor as yourself. We're going to explore that throughout the rest of the next number of hours tonight and through tomorrow, through our whole Shabbaton until late tomorrow night. I hope we will study a little Torah tomorrow too, and we'll hear this verse in context of the Torah reading, and we'll remember the ways, and most importantly, that we personally, each of us, can make a difference in the world. So Shabbat Shalom. So we're going to move forward into our evening service, and our evening service begins with the call to prayer, which is for us, actually a pretty spirited and pretty fun to sing, if you will. We do it every Sunday morning with our kids when we do daven our morning service together, and we do it every evening here in the congregation when we're here together for Friday night. So I'm going to invite our students to come back up with your Sidurim, please, as you help out with the beginning of the evening service. And I'll ask the congregation, if you're able to rise as we join together in the singing of Baruch Hu, page 39A, page 39A. All right, everybody, place the ark. Aron HaKodesh.
Around the Aron.
There you go.
Face this way, everybody. Face the Aron. Face the Aron. There we go.
All right,
Got
we're
it?
gonna walk it out at the end, like we do on Sundays, okay?
Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Lai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Le'olam va'ed. Amevorach, Amevorach, Le'olam va'ed. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la.
You are welcome to be seated, congregation. Those of you on the bema, if you'll just face
Face forward.
forward as you
There you go.
continue to help out. We're on the bottom half of 39A.
ומביא יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו על חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבי.
Amen. We join together, page 40, Ahavat Olam, our bracha that reminds us of our love for God and God's love for us, leads us into the Shema and the Ahavta, page 40. Just stay in one place, please.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושופטנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגלה יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגלה יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגלה יומם ולילה כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגלה יומם ולילה ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ילה לה 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 ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. We're gonna do the Shema. Everybody know it? Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל
ושרת בעם, לשבטך ביתך, ולכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרת מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך,
We read together in the English, the V'ahavta, on page 41, the left side. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. We turn over to page 44 in the bold print. There you'll find Mi Chamocha, our song, our words that we recited as we left Egypt. We left slavery for freedom beyond Egypt, beyond the Red Sea. Page 44.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא נורא, נורא תהילות, אוסף אמן. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא נורא, נורא תהילות, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי, אנו ויעברו. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי, אנו כי בדע אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. On page 45, you'll find the Hashkivenu prayer, a prayer that we recite as we prepare to end our day. It's traditionally a bedtime prayer. We hope that we can awaken to a brighter tomorrow. Shane leads us as we recite together, as we read along with him, page 45 on the left side.
Allow us, Adonai our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread us over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Amen.
Amen.
We rise as we turn to page 46 for the singing of Vishamru, reminding us that Shabbat is a symbol of the covenant we share with God. Page 46.
Vishamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat. La'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. Vishamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. והניחו בבני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וידבש, שבת וידבש, שבת וידבש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Chatzi Kaddish, we remain standing the middle of 46 as we face the Aron.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ביעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלה ועל מעלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל. שמי קודשה בריחו להילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה.
תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בימה,
ויאמרו אמן.
You'll find the silent Amidah for this evening beginning pages 47 through 52. As always, feel free to add your own thoughts and words to the words on the page, and when you're through, you're welcome to be seated. 47.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמרו, אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
All of you on the bima, if you will be so kind as to come sit in the front rows once again as you were before. As we turn to page 173, there you'll find our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. And as we sing this together, the far left side of the page on 173, as we sing together, we keep in our thoughts those who are in need of physical, of emotional, of psychological healing, and certainly, as one of our students said earlier, our job is to help heal the world, is to make the world better and to repair the world. And we can certainly think about the ways we can do that as we sing together, page 173 in the small print on the left.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Refuah Shlema. You'll turn back in your Siddur to page 54. There you will find Kaddish Shalem as Orit leads us.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון ויומכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו.
Amen. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ומאמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה.
בריחו.
בריחו לעילה בין כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ויעלמה ויאמרו
Amen.
תתקבל צלותיהון ובתיהון דכל ישראל קדם אבוהון די ושמיה ויאמרו
Amen.
יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו
Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו
We turn to page 55. There we take a cup of grape juice or wine in hand as we join together in Kiddush. Those of us who are as part of the Shabbaton, you will be joining together with dinner later, and we will do Kiddush together. But here in the sanctuary, as part of our service, we recite Kiddush for the evening, sanctifying our Shabbat. So we rise and turn to page 55 as Orit leads us.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כיוון בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת אמן.
Chaim. We remain standing as we turn to page 56 as our students come on back up. IPRS students, if you'll come back up for Aleinu on page 56. I know you know this one, so you can definitely help us out. We rise. Remain standing.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא זמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו כאן כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות ערב אביך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד המקץ
before you sit down, we're going to take a step back to page 63, something we should have done right before Aleinu. My apologies. We are in the period of counting the Omer, of counting the days between Passover and the holiday of Shavuot, 49 days of counting. So if you'll turn to page 63, remain standing as we read in the English on the left side, and I will tell you last night was number 20. How's that for you? And so you will find the next day on the very bottom of page 66 after we do the bracha together. So please read with me on 63. I am about to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer as it is written in the Torah. You shall count from the eve of the second day of Pesach, when an Omer of grain is to be brought as an offering, 7 complete weeks. The day after the 7th week of your counting will make 50 days. The bracha together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kitshanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Al Sfirat HaOmer. We turn to page 66, the very bottom of the page, the last verse together as we count. Hayom Echad V'Esrim Yom Shehem Shlosha Shavuot La Omer. Today is the 21st day. That's exactly 3 weeks in the counting of the Omer. As we count the days, please be sure to make each day of life count as well. And to that we say, Amen. And you may be seated. Those of you on the bima, you can come sit right down here. Almost. As we turn back in our Siddur to page 58, there you will find our second Mourner's Kaddish for this evening. As we recite Mourner's Kaddish, we continue to keep in our thoughts Babs Schnitzer, mother of David Schnitzer and former and sister-in-law of Hillis Cole. We remember Sylvia Cohen, mother of Jeff Cohen and Adam Cohen. We remember Eddie Halfant, and we send our hugs of support to the extended Halfant family. And we remember Joel Horlin, and again extend our condolences and our hugs of support to his family as well as the yortzites that we recite for today and for the week that is coming. Melvin Alweiss, Nisim Bitton, Elaine Betty Frank, Otto Heffler, Harold Cookie Kaminsky, Jeanette Klein, Sylvia Lehman, Annie Lehman, Jacqueline McAlman, Ted Okrent, Sophie Miller-Offit, Samuel Pollock, Daniel Reif, Rose Schnall, Benjamin Seidenberg, Dave Shanefield, Albert Solomon, Carol Spiegel, Trace Turner, Marcel Wiederman, Joe Wilk, and Barbara A. Zeldes. All those reciting Kaddish Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish. Again, you'll find it on page 58, as those reciting, if you'll rise and join with me. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah B'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam olomei olmaya Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran b'yalma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May be seated. We have just a few announcements. Mrs. Levy, will you come forward for just a quick second? As I make a few announcements, we, as always, will be here tomorrow morning at 9:15 a.m. You will not want to miss it because our kids will be participating. They'll have a little bit of their own service prior to that, and then around 10 o'clock at the Torah service, they will be leading us leading us through the Torah service, including having aliyot. And so parents, if you're here, you can come up with your kid and have an aliyah. That'll be fun. And our sixth graders are going to be reading, I believe, the Maftir along with Jeff Cohen. They've been preparing the Maftir reading, so they'll be participating from the Bima and doing the brachot for the Haftarah as well to join with, I believe, along with our seventh and eighth graders who I know it well. So they'll be participating and then helping us with Musaf as well. In addition, we will be celebrating the confirmation of Ethan Haas and Sam Peisman tomorrow as well. They will be sharing some statements from the Bima about their journey, their Jewish journey in terms of their learning, and they are really the culmination of IPRS as they finish off their 10th grade year and acknowledge their commitment to continuing to study as a part of our program. So we're excited that they're going to be joining us as well, and we'll be having an honor during the Torah service in celebration of that milestone for their Jewish learning. So it's wonderful. A few other announcements, just very quickly. As always, we have morning minyan on Sundays at 9 a.m. here. Please come help make a minyan, and at 7:30 during the weekdays. We certainly can use your help, always making a minyan and adding to the spirit of our tefillah, of our prayer. We also have coming up this Tuesday, May 10th at 6 p.m., there is a JNF women's parlor meeting. You might have seen that. It has been in our weekly emails for a little while, and you can RSVP if you're interested. You can look at your email after Shabbat and find Chaya Forlong. You can get in touch with her or contact our office if you want on Monday or Tuesday. We'll help you out with getting the location and the address at the time of registration is for security. So if you are interested in hearing a special guest speaker about the Eshkol region located along the Egypt and Gaza border and learning a little bit about what it's like to raise children in this region and what this community has been able to accomplish, you are welcome to join it. So keep that in mind. A couple other things going on coming up farther into our calendar. Hannah Ross is turning 103. God love her, 103. So she wants to celebrate her birthday not just with her family and close friends, but all of us, because we are all her friends. And at 103, we should celebrate every moment we can. So I hope you'll come and increase her joy with a birthday dinner and celebration. So you're welcome to be here Friday night, May 20th at 6 o'clock. We'll have our regular Friday night service, and then we will celebrate with Hannah and the Ross and Stern families for dinner. We ask you just to RSVP to the office for catering purposes if you're planning to come for dinner. We hope you will, and increase the joy. Hannah, certainly 103 is an amazing milestone. I remember when it was 102. So we remember last year well, and she's still celebrating, and God love her. That's wonderful. So let's increase that joy with her. We also, I hope you will join me and my family. Certainly there's a farewell Kiddush for us on Saturday, that Shabbat, May 21st, following the Shabbat service. Hope you'll join here for a Kiddush lunch. That'll be our last Shabbat on the Bima, and so we hope you'll be able to join us for that. And you can RSVP again for just giving us numbers if you know you'll be here that Shabbat morning. I hope you will. Come join us as we celebrate Shabbat together. And finally, back by popular demand, God willing, the Texas Kosher Barbecue Championship is indeed set for November 6, 2022. Put it on your calendars. Get ready to eat over a literal ton of brisket, chicken, salmon, and beans. You can stay tuned for more details, but mark your calendars. It is back on the synagogue calendar and our community calendar, so we hope you'll join us. And this is important for all of you, our young ones here. CYJ, Texas, Camp Young Judea, there are still a few spaces left for the summer, so if you're thinking about whether you want to send one of your children or a child to camp, first, second, and third graders, there are still spots for you all, so please visit the CYJ Texas website to enroll your child today. It's a fabulous experience, and any kind of Jewish camp that we can get our kids to is important and wonderful and worth thinking about, so hope you'll consider that. And if you want to stay local and have little ones, you can join us for Heinz Preschool Summer Camp, June 13th to August 5th. With week and day options, and there's extended care available. It's open from 6-week-olds to 8-year-old children. We extend it during the summer to summer camp mode, so it's 6 weeks to 8 years old. You can contact April if you're interested. Hope you will. We have a great program for our kids to take part in. So I wanted to introduce you to Mrs. Levy. I just wanted to introduce you because not everybody has a chance to see you on Sunday mornings in action and on Wednesday afternoons when you're running around being an amazing teacher. Melanie Levy here. You can stand up so they can see you. Yay! She runs a fabulous school for us, and this is we've had a lot of fun putting the material together for this weekend. We said we were going to make it happen, even if we can't be away at a location. It's still learning and it's still having fun, and she's the maven of fun, by the way. So, and runs a fantastic program. And yes, she does deserve a hand because it's a lot of work. And we thank her for all of it. And with that, we also thank Phil in the back. Thank you for being our usher. Hey, Phil, there you go. You got a hand, too. We thank Anthony, and we thank Michael, and we certainly thank Orit for leading us. And we thank all of you, our students, for leading us this evening. Yay! Woohoo! IPRS ranks, right? So we are going to conclude our service with a little bit of a Don Olam on page 211. I know for the adults who are here and not part of the Shabbaton, there is a nice little kiddush nosh right outside, some hors d'oeuvre type stuff for you to enjoy and to hang around. For those of you who are part of our Shabbaton, we'll ask you to just bypass the treats, please, because you have a big dinner waiting for you in the social hall. We will do kiddush and motzi together, and then we'll be able to eat and we'll continue with our program. So you guys, straight to the social hall. Anyone else, straight into the rotunda, and you can enjoy a little nosh. And we thank, we thank our office staff for helping to put that together, and our maintenance staff as well. All right, with that, we are turning to page 211. I think Miss Orit needs a little help up here, guys. So come on back up.
My voice is tired. Y'all need to help me.
Page 211, you will find Adon Olam as we join together. Help her out, help her out. Come on, stand up, help her out.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
Ding dong, Liet
Nasa Be'etzoko, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon
Olam, V'acharei Yilod Hakol,
Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hoven, Vehu Yeh Tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nira, Dong Liet Nasa, Be'etzoko, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Echad, V'yein Sheni, Lehakshilo Lehachbira Adon Olam, V'li Reishi, V'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oz V'ha'misra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Liet Nasa, Be'etzoko, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Eli, V'chai Go'ali, V'tzor Chevli V'yetzara Adon Olam, Vehu Nisi, Uman Hosli, Minat Kosi B'yom Mekra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nira, Dong Liet Nasa Be'etzoko, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Yahado Avki Ruchi, V'yetishan V'ya'ira Adon Olam, V'ruchi Geviati, Adon Eliv Elohim Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra, Liet Nasa Be'etzoko, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
Shabbat
Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, Shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
I can't. It's for you guys. Shut up.
Uh-oh, I can't look at it.
Go be with your friends. So what? You can snacks. No, I'm not allowed to. It's not for me. It's for you guys.
Running, they're already out the door.
Yeah, we'll talk after the weekend.
Next Friday,
Yeah, it's just the 20th.
the 20th, I guess.
You know, I was just looking at there's a place called Jeff Ryder Drum Shop. And I feel like, I call this a motorcycle studio. Because it's got the sort of triangular. Then that's a Tama. I have one. You know what? I have one that's called a pocket saw. Our German, the church is using it right now. The problem is this thing, I forgot it's there. Because I use it. It's my personal preference. I had to play Green Coliseum, which is big. We were all home for this person in San Francisco. And so I take a keyboard down in town. And I was just, you know, luckily they had chairs there.